Hey guys, so I just want to share some raw thoughts that have come to mind regarding Nofap, the recovery journey from using corn. Um, and what's come to mind for me recently, something just kind of that I've noticed throughout my life, throughout my journey, since I started struggling with this, is that if you can just get to that 2 week mark, if you can just get to that 2 week mark, like 14 days, 15 days, at least this is how it is for me. Like once you can get to that level of progress again, or get to that level of progress, maybe even for the first time, that's when like I've noticed there's a turning point where you can just easily continue on the momentum. You know, there's something, I'm telling you guys, there's something about that level of progress. I think just even in addiction recovery in general, like when you can hit 2 weeks, that is an accomplishment. That really is. Like, at least that's just what I've noticed. And I always like to, especially at a period of time in my life where I'm struggling with relapse, I always like to think about it in intervals and just thinking about it as just one day at a time, you know? Like it all, I always think about how like it all starts out with just getting to the first 5 days, you know? I think about it in intervals, right? And then I focus on just getting to 1 week first, 7 days. And then focus on getting to 14 days. Like once you can get to 14 days, 15 days, like there's just something about that that's huge. That's a really big deal. Like you can a lot more easily just kind of continue on the momentum, and you're more into like kind of the lifestyle, the real lifestyle of living clean and pure, like you're more used to it, you know? So just, if you're at a period of time where you're struggling, like you relapsed recently, or you're within those first 2 weeks of going clean, like just remember that, like once you can just get to the 2 week mark, around the 2 week mark, like that is huge. That's a big deal. Like that could be a real turning point for you, you know? I don't know. It's just every time I reach that progress after a relapse, that's when it actually starts to feel like something substantial. Like I actually get like a little bit excited about my recovery, you know? And that's really like all I wanted to say in this video, like just think about it in intervals, take it one day at a time. It reminds me of how when I was very young, when I was like a teenager, I was in Boy Scouts, and we were doing a 50-mile hike, right? And it was difficult. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was difficult. And, I was carrying this big backpack and all that. And a big aspect of how I got through that 50-mile hike was through thinking about it in intervals. Like, okay, right now I'm just focusing on these 5 miles. I wasn't focusing on the whole 50-mile journey. I was thinking in terms of like, a few miles at a time, and then there's going to be a break, and then, intervals, right? And so that's kind of like the perspective that I wanted to share in this video, like if you can just make it to 1 week, if you can just make it to 7 days, if you can just make it to 14 days, to 2 weeks, that is huge. That could be the sign of you going through a full recovery. You could go the whole rest of your life sober, like, so just think about it in intervals, take it one day at a time, and just believe in yourself. Rely on God, especially rely on God. because we need the Lord God to overcome these things, to overcome lust, to overcome pornography, or like really any addiction. But, I'm particularly talking about overcoming using porn. You got to rely on God. You got to rely on that divine strength that's beyond your own, and like you'll be able to overcome. So just think about it in intervals. That's my main like tip. That's my main message in this video. Is just focus on one day at a time. Focus on the each interval of time. And if you have that perspective, it'll really help you out a lot. At least it's helped me. It's most definitely helped me, and I believe it'll help you guys as well. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Thanks for tuning in.